Hello, Internet. How are you doing today? I have a story. I have a very interesting story. A story about discovering yourself as a person and things that you are capable and incapable of. Earlier this evening for dinner, I went with my family to a seafood restaurant. Good seafood restaurant. Been around for 50 years. I've never been there before. My parents have. They said it was really good. Wanted to take us out. We said, okay, yeah, sure, that sounds good. So we went and got the seafood. We looked over what we wanted, and I decided that I wanted catfish. So I ordered the catfish. They asked if I wanted fillet or bone-in. Fillet, of course, easier to eat. So I ordered that, and the waitress came back. Didn't have any fillets, but they had bone-in. I should stop the story here to explain that I'm not really sure what bone-in generally entails. In my mind, bone-in was the fillet with some bones in it. And I was like, I can handle that. That's not a problem. I'll pick out some bones. Okay. When the food was delivered to the table, my mother was served, and my father was served, and my wife was served, and then I was served. And what I was looking at did not resemble catfish fillets. It was the catfish. And I had 3 of them. They were headless fried catfish. They had been descaled, but they still had their fins. And are they all fins? The top thing and the back thing is the fins? Anyway, in my mind, if you had described this situation to me, I would have been like, yeah, I could eat that, no problem. Okay. Apparently, I'm a little queasier than I thought I was. When it was put in front of me, my first thought was, oh God. So, I didn't have a huge problem with it at the beginning, and I actually started to eat on it. There was no face looking at me, which is kind of my rule on eating things. If they can look back at me, I don't want to eat it. I can't handle that. But I've been to pig pickings, and you may not be familiar with the concept of pig picking, where they actually take a giant pig and lay him over on the side of the fire and cut him open, and you actually just take tongs and reach in and get your meat and pull it out and eat it. And that might sound gross to you, but I've been to several of those over the course of my life, and that's fine. Not affected by that. No problems whatsoever. And, a little fish without a head that's fried with his little scales and everything, or the fins, like, that shouldn't be a problem at all. But I found myself rather horrified of this meal, and I was actually trying to eat on it, and I did. I ate half of one of the fish, and there was a lot of bones in my mouth, and I got halfway through one, and I had 3 of the fish, and I couldn't do it. I just absolutely couldn't do it. And it was surprising, and I learned something about myself, because, like I said, in my head, that wouldn't have been a problem if that would have been served to me. Yeah, I can eat it. I can eat that kind of stuff. But, couldn't do it. And I don't know what the difference is, between the fish and the pig, or, why one thing over the other I would have been okay with and not okay with. But I learned that tonight. And I also learned that bone-in probably means a decapitated fried fish, and I'm not okay with that. So, that, coming full circle, is why I'm eating fried shrimp in my home. Because my family was finished eating, and I got fried shrimp instead. Anyway, that's my story. I learned a little bit about my constitution? Is that the word? I think I might have called it institution earlier. It's probably constitution, as I meant, but I actually got legitimately sick of my stomach while I was eating it. It wasn't really the visuals, actually. It was the thought. I don't think I'm alone, though. I'm kind of coming to you guys to make sure I'm not alone. And I know that there's adventurous eaters out there. I know that there's people that probably eat all kinds of crazy stuff. But I'm not to that place. I don't know if I ever will be. But I'm kind of coming out here onto Steven Vlog and seeing where you guys sit with that kind of thing. So, if you had a fish on your plate, could you have eaten it? I've eaten fish fillets with scales on them. That's not been a problem. I've eaten fish with bones in them, but not to this extent. I mean, this was essentially, it almost looked like it jumped out of the river onto my plate. It just went through, you know, like a saw first and lost its noggin. But I just thought I would share that. So share your own stories. Share, you know, how you deal with those kind of situations. Or maybe you are an adventurous eater and you want to talk about some of the crazy stuff you've eaten. Let's talk about that. As for me, fried shrimp is fine. I still want to try their catfish. I'll just have to wait till the fillet's ready. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow. Shall we? There's been a very crucial element added to these, and I've learned something very important today. Lime and shrimp are amazing. I'm sorry, but how did I go 24 years of my life and not know this?
Grab the barrel. Jump. You dropped the barrel.
Run through the bee. You have invincibility.
It's not gonna matter. We needed the barrel to get the coin.
No, this is the bee. This is the second bonus level.
What?
Yes, go run at the bee.
You sure?
Yes.
Oh, where am I going? Yes!